If you're on coaching, consulting, or an agency business and you're looking to drive more sales appointments by running Facebook ads, in this video I'm going to show you a simple funnel and a simple tool that you can use to build a funnel in less than 10 minutes. In fact, I'm actually going to go on record in this video and build the funnel together with you. And this funnel has generated my clients over $40 million in sales. And in case you're wondering who I am and why you should listen to me, my name is Nazim. In the last 10 years, I've made my clients over $40 million in high-ticket sales, worked with hundreds of businesses, and scaled 2 of my clients to 8 figures. Without any further ado, let's dive in. So the funnel we're going to talk about today is called the VSL funnel, which stands for a video sales letter. If you're a coach, consultant, if you offer your expertise or services online, the VSL is the golden standard for generating leads online. In this video, we're not going to talk about Facebook ads per se. We're going to actually talk about where you send the traffic from Facebook ads, because if you think about it, what you say in the ad is kind of important, but what's even more important is what happens after people click on the ad and actually land on your website or landing page, because ultimately that's the thing that makes people completely and fully convinced to start working with you. An ad is something that grabs people's curiosity, and the funnel is something that actually takes people through multiple steps to actually convince them to give it a shot, to get on a sales call with you and hear your sales pitch. So that's why this video is so important. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take you on share screen, show you the tool that we're going to be using, and actually step by step show you how you can set up a funnel in 10 minutes or less. All right, so the tool we're going to be using today is called the Perspective.co. By the way, this is a sponsored video. Perspective has reached out to me about a month ago, and I didn't record a video right away. I wanted to play around with it and to try to essentially explore as much functionality as possible to make sure that what I'm going to be giving you guys is the real deal. What I like about Perspective so much is, look, back in the days, I've been around for a lot of years, and 10 years ago, we would have to literally have 5 different apps stitched together to make a funnel work. You would have to have a landing page builder. You would have to have a software that hosts your videos, which is like, for example, Wistia for hosting videos is $97 a month easily, right? Then you would also have to have something like Zapier or an integration tool, which is also another $27 to $37 a month that actually allows you to connect your funnel to other, let's say, call booking softwares, all that stuff. What I like about Perspective is they've built a tool that essentially encompasses all of these things in one platform, and it's really no nonsense. So if you're looking for a platform that's no nonsense, it's Perspective. What I also like about Perspective is that it's a mobile first application. And what I'm actually going to show you is extremely relevant and interesting. Here we're inside of one of my client accounts. And as you can see, in the last, I would say this campaign was launched actually 30th of January. So in the last 3 months or so, we've generated over close to 400 sales applications. And if I look at the breakdown of where these sales applications came through, it's all mobile. iPhone, Android, smartphone, iPhone. If I actually try to look for a desktop here for a conversion, I will not find it, which is kind of fascinating. We spent over $50,000 to generate close to 400 sales applications, and almost none came through a desktop. And this is where Perspective also shines, because it's a mobile first platform. And I'm going to show you how it works. So without any further ado, let's dive in. Once you're going to sign up for a Perspective account, you're going to end up here in your funnels dashboard. So once you're on the funnels dashboard, what I want you to do is click on new funnel, and I want you to scroll down here to the coaching offer. Now, Perspective offers the widest variety of different funnels, but honestly, the best one that I've picked for you so far, if you want to run a VSL funnel, booking sales appointments, is this one. And what you can also do is you can personalize it. So what I did here is I added a new brand profile. So what you can do is you can literally pop in your website URL and tell Perspective AI what your target audience is, and what it's going to do is it's going to create a brand new profile, and it's going to actually come up with some of the copy and brand it for you automatically. I've already built my AI brand profile, so let's give it a try, right? So we're going to click on personalized template, and then we are going to wait for Perspective to build the thing out. Maybe it's going to take you about 3 to 4 minutes. What we're going to do is we'll take a quick pause and come back once it's finished rendering. All right, as you can see, we have the funnel already ready and done. As you can see, because Perspective is a mobile first platform for a good reason, it shows the default view in mobile, which is great. And this is the page that is a template, right? As you can see, boom, right? What I also like about it is if you look into copy, if I read it, it's actually based on my website. Why your coaching business is not scaling to 100K months yet and how to fix it. If you go to my website, which is nazimconsulting.com, it's reformulated all the copy that it found from my website and also the case studies and essentially the breakdown of our process into copy. So if you want to save money and time in coming up with some copy, you can totally do that as well. Now, I'll be honest with you, I would not completely trust the copy that it's come up with, but it's actually pretty damn good. What I'm just trying to say is do make sure that you don't just roll with the default that it gives you and start spending money on it. You have to chief it. You really want to read into what AI writes and then still polish the copy. But it's still freaking good nonetheless. It would probably take me quite a bit of prompting in Claude to get this sort of copy. Now, when it comes to the actual VSL funnel, the template includes all of this copy that's already pre-engineered and pre-written for me, but I'm of a little bit of a different mindset when it comes to perspective for VSL funnels. I actually believe that when you're running a VSL funnel, you should just have only one section with a headline, subheadline, video, and a call to action button. So what we're actually going to do also here is take a few minutes to actually delete these sections. And look, you could actually just try to build the whole thing from scratch, but we're not going to do that. We're just going to use a template and we're going to remove the sections here. You can get it done in like literally 2 minutes, and we're going to do that now. All right, so it took me maybe 90 seconds to remove all the sections, but here we are. What I'm also going to do is remove the logo because a lot of times you just don't need it. And what we're left with is calling out to the audience that this VSL is for, the headline and the subheadline, right? We also have the call to action button here for people to actually book a call, and then we have the video. Now, what's so cool about Perspective is that you can upload your own video. There's actually a few options. You can host it on Wistia and a few other video platforms, but I decided to actually upload my video natively because I don't want to pay for Wistia, right? So this video is right here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pick it, and you can also enable autoplay, and that's it. That's literally it for the actual VSL page, right? Now, obviously you can tweak the headline, right? If I want to say something different, let's say discover how to book 20 plus sales calls per week with Facebook ads, right? So that's a headline. Watch this video now. For example, that can also be a subheadline. Boom. There's all the basic functionalities you need to edit text. And guys, when it comes to creating funnels, less is more. You don't need fancy designs and edits, especially when it comes to call booking funnels, because you want to keep the main thing, right? Do not sway people's attention from fancy designs, all those variables that can distract people. Or like if, for example, if I have like some sort of fancy widget here, people might start paying attention to that instead of actually doing the only thing that they're supposed to do in the funnel, which is click the damn video and watch it, get convinced, and book a call. What you also might want to do is, and this is brilliant by the way, it just shows how much Perspective thinks in terms of like Facebook ads and direct response. They actually give you the footer with the earnings claims and this text that says this is not a part of Facebook website or Facebook Inc., which is something I would have told you to have to add separately. But it's the first tool I actually see that it does it. It just shows how much they're direct response oriented, and direct response basically means conversion based systems, copy, all that shebang, right? I'll also do something here more. We're definitely not going to use branding, so we're going to turn that off. And then when it comes to privacy and imprint, you can click on the gear icon here and you can place your own. And one very important thing, do not forget to put your privacy and other terms and conditions. Extremely important. I've actually seen Facebook ad accounts get banned and shut down because the business owner forgot to include their privacy and terms and conditions links. Very important, right? So that's it. We have the page here. And then the next point I'm going to move into is actually prompting people to first fill out a form by answering a couple of qualifying questions, and then we're going to give them the ability to book a consultation call with you. Now, this page, I'll tell you right away, we don't need. This is redundant, right? What we're going to do is we're going to gear the call to action button to go to the next page. As you can see, you can actually link a link to it, but I'll say take people to the next page, and then we're going to start with the first question. What's so cool is Perspective also already took the time to come up with the questions, and I went through the questions in the other test funnel that I built. Also very, very similar and close to what I would have put in my own funnel, right? So the first question is, what's your primary marketing goal, right? Generate high quality leads, optimize sales funnels, master paid advertising. For example, I'm going to remove this because in this case, I am offering a strictly done for you service. So this is not a coaching course, right? So position you as a premium expert, fine. Build marketing systems, fine. Yeah, that's fine. Next is going to be a pricing range. What's your current monthly revenue, right? That's a great question as well. Then the next question is positioning. What best describes you in your situation? Obviously, put them in different buckets. Someone who's just starting out, someone who creates courses, or an agency owner, or an established coach, or something else. And then the budget, right? What's their actual current monthly budget? And I can obviously tweak this as well. I wouldn't probably put under 5,000. I would put under 3,000. Then I'll put 3 to 5,000. Then I will do 5 to 10,000, and then I would put 10,000 plus. And then I would put monthly, right? I mean, look, 10,000, if you can get someone paying you $5,000 to $10,000 per month as an agency, that's already pretty damn good. And then the last part is going to be an opt-in before people can book a call with you. Now, Perspective has this habit. One thing I actually don't like about it, I think they're doing it out of willingness to serve. And it's better to add more and then just remove what you don't need. But there's a lot of fluff in here that you'll have to remove, at least if you want to do the funnels my way. Right? And you know how I do it for my clients. I don't like to have a lot of fluff when it comes to the funnel, right? I want to keep the main thing. So you're going to remove some of these things as well. That being said, however, an opt-in before people can book a call is kind of interesting idea. And I'm going to tell you that you may want to or not want to use it. In this case, we're going to use it. And I will say use it if you're going to do really good email marketing, right? So what this is going to do is before people can go to the Calendly page and book a call with you, what it's going to do is it's going to give you the ability to get people's full name and email address, which is fine. And then in case they don't book a call, you can come up with a marketing email automation sequence to keep prompting people to book a call after they abandon their Calendly, because guess what? You asked them for their email beforehand, right? Look, with my clients, it's kind of 50-50. With some, I do it. With some, I don't. If you don't want to do it, just remove this page and send people directly to Calendly. But let's say, because I want to show you the full functionality of Perspective, we're going to keep it here. Last step, boom, 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 please book if you're serious. That's fine. And we're going to keep it. And then the next page we're going to have here is, give me a second. So once you fill out all the information, you're going to click on proceed to choose a date, and then in the advanced option, what you can do is you can actually send people to one of these 4 softwares. Now look, you can send them to any software, but these 4 software are natively built in to Perspective. Just FYI, for example, I am trying Perspective now, and I am for sure going to be moving some clients into Perspective. But with other clients, just giving you an example, we're not using Perspective, we're using some other app. And to natively embed Calendly on the page, it took customized coding, right? With Perspective, you don't have to do any customized coding. If you're using one of these 4 apps, 90% of my clients are using Calendly. Calendly is great. So we're going to pick Calendly, and then I'm going to take my Calendly link and I'm going to pop it in here. It's as simple as that. Now, there's also more options here. There's actually options to send people to a thank you page, right? After you actually book a call with them, what's the page that they're going to end up on, right? Now, we're going to keep this. That's great. What I would do is, look, I'm not going to build out like a thank you page here. In fact, if you look at my other videos on this channel, I've got a couple of master classes on how you can increase your sales show up rate. That includes optimizing your thank you page, and I give you direct advice on how to optimize the thank you page. But kind of like the basics of the thank you page, you want to have a congratulating headline. You want to have a video that will move it here actually underneath. But we're going to remove this. We don't need another button here on the thank you page. And the video, obviously, I would also upload natively inside of Perspective. So, boom, and that's it, right? One more thing actually that's interesting is, as you can see, it also supports Vimeo as well. So Vimeo, Wistia, and a couple of other software that you might be already using. In case you don't want to use Perspective's native video hosting, you can use any of the embeds as well, right? But we're gonna pick this one, right? And that's it. That's it. What we're gonna do now is, oh, one more thing. There's just so much functionality that I have to cover all of it, guys. But there's also an automation option inside of Perspective. So essentially what happens is after people book a call, you can send automations to people, right? Email automations. Now, look, typically I'm actually not very familiar or not very used to essentially what is a landing page builder to have so much functionality. So I honestly, at first I was kind of like overwhelmed a little bit by how much functionality this thing has, because I'll tell you right away, like typically we use our call booking software to send out email confirmations. But look, I mean, if the platform is offering it, the most typical advice I give to people is keep it simple, right? Do not fragment and tear apart your automation, right? Try to keep everything in one place. So that's that. So you can use it, and I would advise you to at least play around with it, which obviously in that case you would have to turn off your Calendly reminders, right? And you can use Perspective, but look, these are just email reminders that you can play around with. As you can see, you can set different triggers. Look, I'm not an email marketing expert. I'm just saying you can definitely play around with it. There's this functionality. Instead, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to publish this entire funnel. I'm going to go through the funnel, and I'm going to show you another very cool feature that you can actually use, that I really advocate for, and I will be using myself. So let's just do that. All right. So we're going to click on publish now, and boom, the whole funnel is quite literally live. We're going to click on the link, paste it in here, then copy it. Boom. Yeah, there you go. All right, as you can see, we're looking at the page here. If I look at the mobile view here, it looks super damn clean. And as you saw from my ads manager walkthrough, 90% of your leads will come through mobile, or by looking at your funnels with their iPhone or smartphones. But we still want the desktop version to look up to par, right? Just in an odd case that someone will look at your video, watch your video, or look through your funnel on desktop. I don't like this. So I would like to tweak it. So here's how you do it. Let's go back to the builder. Here on the bottom right corner, there's this icon that says switch to desktop view. We're going to switch, and we're going to rearrange things a little bit. So as you can see, we're in the desktop view, and what I don't like about this layout is I want the VSL to hold the prime spot on the page, and then the book a call page and the social proof needs to be underneath. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on a book a call button, and I'm going to simply drag it underneath the video. And I'm also going to click on this reviews section, which you can, by the way, also tweak. And I'm going to pull it underneath the button. And as you can see, it instantly positions the whole thing exactly how I want it. And if I click on the mobile view, that doesn't change whatsoever, right? So we have now fixed how our desktop version looks, and I'm going to click on fast publish, so it actually saves the changes and publishes the changes, and let's have a look how it looks. Boom, as you can see, the desktop version is now fixed. And actually I'll do one more thing. I'll make this center aligned if possible. Boom. Now this is center aligned, and we're ready to go. That's it. Click on fast publish, refresh again, boom. Now let's still go back to the mobile view, because that's ultimately what it's all about with Perspective and generally funnels. All you have to do is come here, click on add a new page, and let's say it's going to be a last question, right? And I'm going to drag it right here beneath budget, because right now budget is the last question. Now this is going to be the last question. What I can do is I can duplicate this page. That would probably be easier. I would call last question. I would remove this one. You can build it from scratch, but why? There's no point. And I could say question 5 out of 5, and then and say, how soon would you like to start, right? And then I can say yesterday, which shows mega urgency. Let's say in the next 30 days, which is good enough. In the next 90 days, which is worse. And then let's say next year, right? And then I'm going to do one more, and I'm going to say not sure. But you know what? If I add not sure, a lot of people will be choosing not sure. So we'll want to give people 4 options. And one more thing I'll probably want to do is also, because now we have 5 questions, we want to change the questions to 5. Boom. 3, 4, 5. Done. Right? We're going to publish it. Let me update again. The tutorial is taking a bit longer because I'm showing you all different functionality, but if you use my tutorial and with everything that you now know, you can get the whole thing done much faster. So I'm going to pick this option, click on next question, boom, boom. It's as simple as that. It's very intuitive. People are just clicking on it. And then it asks me for my name and surname. Let's say John Smith at Gmail. And then voila. We're going to actually get a Calendly embed automatically here. We're going to, let's say, come and book a call, and guess what? It already passes information that was already pre-filled in here. And we're going to say my name, let's say johnsmith.com. These are my personal questions. You don't have to ask them, by the way, but I'll just add it anyway and click on schedule event. Once we click it, we're going to be redirected to a custom thank you page we've also built. It's that simple. Now let's move on to actually a very cool part of this training, which is what happens after the call is booked. After the call is booked, typically, one of the big problems why funnels and ads never work out is most business owners simply don't close the deals that they generate through ads. And they don't close those deals because they don't have a good sense of what their sales pipeline looks like, because a lot of deals do close in the follow-ups, but how can you predictably and systematically do follow-ups if you don't know who you've exactly spoken to, let's say 3 weeks ago? Perspective changes that at its core, because it gives you an actual pre-built sales pipeline inside of the software. So all you have to do is come here to all the funnels and click on the section that says contacts. And here in the contact section, you will actually have everyone who's filled out their name and surname in the opt-in box, and also booked a call with you, right? And I have changed the columns in the sales pipeline to how I would typically work kind of like with my sales pipeline, right? At first we get new deals, then we have people, immediately if you rejected them, if they no-showed, if you can close the sale, I would just drag them here to reject it, or maybe you could even rename this to deal lost, right? And it's obviously in red. But then on the sales calls you actually got on a call with the sales leads, you can drag them along this process very conveniently, right? Offer made, follow up, offer sent, and then deal finally closing. You can actually also see all the answers they answered in the form. You can make notes about the deal, and you can even look into messages with the deal. It's really very impressive, actually, the amount of work Perspective has done on their software. And look, I'm not gonna BS you guys. This is, if you put in functionality of, let's say, Pipedrive or HubSpot, those two cannot be compared, right? Obviously, HubSpot or Pipedrive is gonna have much deeper functionality when it comes to sales pipeline management. If you maybe go with some fancy page builder, let's say Webflow has got much deeper functionality in terms of design than Perspective. But that's not the real question, because the real question is, what do you actually need to be generating leads using Facebook ads objectively, right? If we think about it in a utilitarian way, and what you need is a simple, reliable tool that is built for online businesses, that has cut out all the fat, but also kept the most important things that there ever can be. Things like building landing pages, things like email marketing, things like sales pipeline. you still have access to them all in one platform. Instead of paying $97 to Wistia, instead of paying God knows how much, an arm and leg for HubSpot, or whatever, $47, $67 a month for Pipedrive, instead of paying $27 to Zapier to stitch all these things together. Those costs, they add up, and it's really a ball ache, right? Pardon my French. But with Perspective, you get an all-in-one tool to launch and be operational in less than an hour. I argue in less than 10-15 minutes, most certainly in less than a day, and that's it. So if you would like to give Perspective a try, even if you have your tool stack, your landing pages somewhere else, if you would like to test a new, better way to do it, or if you don't have any, if you'd like to get started for free and very quickly and today, then I'm going to attach an affiliate link down below. With my link, you get not 2 weeks, but 4 weeks of Perspective for free. Typically on the website, you would get it for free for 2 weeks. With my link, you can get it for 4 weeks. You can properly test it and then see if this is for you or not. But thank you for watching another video on my YouTube channel. Like the video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll talk to you soon.